What are you looking for in a new smart TV? 4K picture quality, high quality and immersive sound, a sleek design? All of those are givens, but only the new Roku Pro Series has all of those and the Roku streaming experience, an award-winning OS. Get fast, easy access to all your apps like iHeart, where you can stream all your favorite music, radio, and podcasts all day, and regular all-inclusive trips to Roku City. The new Roku Pro Series, a smart TV built by the streaming pros.
Wake your ass up, fool. John J. and Rich. What's crack-a-lackin'? This is the big boss dog, Snoopy Deagle Double Jizzle. Damn, boom, what you gonna do? John J. and Rich. We're not talking about Ren 1010. We're not talking about Lassie. It's the one and only dog, y'all. The classy, sassy, big Snoop Deagle Double Jizzle. In your face to be and in the place to be. And you're listening to John J. and Rich. Wake your ass up, fool.
John J. and Rich, shoot us a text. Text JJR, whatever's on your mind, to 96893 or call us at 877-937-1047. As soon as Payton walked in this morning, I was like, hey, wow, you look really nice. And she said,
rebrand. Thanks, John.
Not that you don't look nice, but I really like the way you have your hair, your makeup. Like I could see how it was like you're working it out, because like a couple weeks ago we were talking about how your cheeks were really bright. Now, now it all blends in, like you're blended leather jacket.
Yeah, and looking fab.
Yeah, and then for me, like I saw the Oscars last night, and one of the highlights, and we're going to do a whole Oscar thing, but it was Adam Sandler. I'm kind of infatuated with sometimes his wardrobe, and I have the same hoodie he had on. And I have a lot of the hoodies from that brand, Aviator Nation. And when they cut to him in the crowd, now Oscars, everyone's in gowns and tuxedos, right? But he was dressed terrible, like he's starting
basketball shorts, hoodie, the whole thing. Yeah. Conan pointed it out.
Adam, what are you wearing? Nobody even thought about what I was wearing till you brought it up. I don't care about what I wear or what I don't wear. Did my snazzy gym shorts and fluffy sweatshirt offend you so much that you had to mock me in front of my peers?
Hey, I'm sorry. Adam, I apologize.
I'm going to go off. I go. Yeah, I'm leaving. One more thing. Shut up!
So he's wearing this hoodie by Aviator Nation, and I have my trunk full of hoodies, because every morning we wake up, I come in here, it's cold. Then when I leave, I take off my hoodie and I throw it in the trunk of my car, and my trunk's been filling up and filling up and filling up. And I knew I had that hoodie he had on. So this morning I got up and opened up my trunk, and it wasn't. I emptied it out and it wasn't there. I had to go upstairs. My wife had it folded somewhere in my laundry, of all places.
How dare she?
So then I grab it, and it's not exactly. It's the same blue, but it's not the same logo. I have another colored one with the same logo. I was so disappointed. But for the most part, I have the same hoodie that Adam Sandler has.
Is this John Jay sitting next to me, or is it Adam Sandler?
Right?
I can't tell. I can't tell.
I loved his outfit, and I love that the Adam Sandler look is literally called the Adam Sandler look.
I know.
It's a legit thing. Especially if you walk into any high school, you see 10 people that look like Adam Sandler.
Right.
It's awesome. I love
great.
it. He's so funny.
Over the weekend, Rich emceed this big event, and I was there. I was supporting my pal. And you did a great job, by the way. It was a Boys and Girls Club thing, right? And iHeart had a table, and I was sitting there at this table. It was a Saturday night. And I had a friend who was a guest. He was sitting with me, and he was telling me how the night before, on Friday night, he went out with Academy Award winner Kevin Costner.
Oh, how did that happen?
What?
Kevin Costner was in town for a charity event on Friday, and my friend was there, and Kevin Costner and my friend have a mutual friend. So they went out Friday night, and he was telling me about what it's like going out with Kevin Costner. And it's unbelievable. Just women throwing themselves at him. And he was staying at a hotel way up north. And my friend talked him into staying at the new hotel that's by my house, right?
Oh, good call.
So Saturday night, the night of Rich's event, I'm sitting there, and Rich's wife is at the table. My wife is at the table. Rich is jumping up on stage, coming back and forth. And I say to my friend, I go, what kind of friend are you? Why wouldn't you call me and say, hey, do you want to come out and go out with me and Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
And he goes, would you have gone out with us? I go, of course I would have. Not all the time you get to hang out with an Academy Award winner.
That's big time.
Right? Best director for Dances with Wolves and all these great movies. He's in Yellowstone. And he goes, well, I'm meeting him tonight after this event.
Oh,
do you want to go out with us? I was like, no way.
Why would you skip on that?
That's what Rich's wife said.
Yeah.
And she heard the whole thing.
Unbelievable.
He's like, we're meeting at 9:30 tonight. Rich's event was over at 9, meeting at 9:30. I go, 9:30?
9:30's early on
a
the
Saturday
weekend.
night.
It's a weeknight. It's a weekend.
He goes, come on. We're going here, and then we're going here. And I was like, oh, man. He goes, there's 10 of us. I go, I don't want to hang out with 10 guys and 9 guys and Kevin Costner.
Imagine the stories you would
That's
have
what
had
Rich's
coming
wife
back.
said. That's what Stacy said.
She told me she was like getting into the fray. She's like, she's like, I told him you got to have a picture for the gram. I'm like, Stacy, you don't even have the gram. She's like, I know. Well, John Jay has the gram.
But
She goes,
right.
think of all the content you're going to get by going out with I go, you know what? If I go out with Kevin Costner and I have all this content, I'm going to sound to our audience, I'm name dropping. Oh, you're hanging out with Kevin Costner. What about the content of me not going out with Kevin Costner? Now I'm like reverse name dropping.
No, I'm disappointed in you, John Jay.
Well, we don't know. Did you go out with Kevin Costner?
No, he
No, I
definitely
didn't
did
go with
not.
Kevin Costner. But I asked my friends, send me pictures so I can post. So I have those pictures I can post to my
Not
friend
the
Kevin
same.
Costner. Now,
Not
the
the
reason I'm not
same.
telling you my friend's name because it would make the story even more complicated. It was Kevin Rowe. So I was like, Kevin Rowe and Kevin Costner hanging out. So I said to Kevin Rowe, I go, do you think Kevin Costner remembers your name? He goes, we have the same name. I go, no, I'm just kidding. Like, I would think you remember anyone named Kevin if your name's Kevin, right? But for me, he's telling the story. If I said, and Kevin Rowe is sitting with me, and Kevin Rowe was hanging out with Kevin Costner, I think the story would get complicated. But now that I told the story, now I can recap by telling you it was Kevin Rowe.
Okay.
So I have pictures of Kevin Rowe and Kevin Costner.
I feel like I'm a little
Kevin.
disappointed in you for not going.
Yeah.
I know.
Stacy
I
said
know.
John Jay would never put up with somebody else not going out with Kevin
know.
Costner.
I know.
He was so mad.
She was next to me, and she was like, are you seriously not going to... Like, she got so excited that I got invited. Like, she was so eavesdropping.
Yeah.
She was, hey, you got to go. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go.
How dare you?
Anyway, so at this event, it was a really nice event, right? It was like, big conference room tables, Rich is on stage, is a rock star. It was dressed like a rock star event. And it was my son, Kemp, who lives in Hawaii, had a basketball game, plays basketball in college. He had a game that night, and it was supposed to be 9:30 our time. But they changed it to where it was 6:30 our time, right? So it's right in the middle of this event.
That's right when it started.
And my wife is like, I'm gonna watch this game. I don't want to be rude, but I'm gonna watch our son play basketball. So she had it on her phone. It was just like being those dudes that are like can't miss the World Series or the Super Bowl
At a wedding.
So my wife is watching our son play basketball on her phone, and I'm watching it too. And I feel so terrible because there's all these emotional things going on stage, and our table is at the front. So when we're looking at our phones, we look so rude to the people behind us. So when the game was over at some point, and it's so great because I happened to be filming my wife watch my son, and he hit a 3. He was playing, he did 3, and I was
Awesome.
like, and you can hear us I put the video on my Instagram, you can hear us go, yes! But we got to be very quiet because we're at this table. So during the, like a little bit of a down time during the event after the game was over, I was going to the tables behind us and apologizing. I'm like, I'm so sorry if we were watching our sons playing basketball. And it was so funny because it was a lesson because nobody paid attention to us watching that. They didn't know what I was talking about, but I still had such huge guilt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Anyway. And then I saw Payton, you had a basketball weekend too.
Yeah, so on Saturday, I coach high school girls basketball at Basha High School in Chandler, Arizona. And we've had a historic run this year. We made it to the Elite Eight, which is the first time in program history ever
Let's
that
go.
it's ever been done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Basha High School. You know who I was with?
Who?
Basha.
Look at that.
I was with David Basha
Really?
at Rich's event.
Hey, look at that. So
Everything's
many-
connected.
Yeah,
His
so many
dad,
strings.
that's what the school's named after, his dad.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, so it was awesome. We actually ended up playing Sunnyside out in Tucson. We ended up losing the game, so our season did end, which was really upsetting because we totally should have won. We totally had it, but we just couldn't get the job done. But after the game, right, it's the end of season, historic season. We have 2 seniors that are graduating and the rest of our team's coming back. Like, that's pretty crazy. Like, we're really set up for success the next couple of years. And it's been, this year, for me, has been, like, an extremely, like, trying season. It's been a battle. It's been a grind. We've had transfers come in. It's been a pretty crazy last couple of months. And I feel like I've been specifically tough on our girls because a lot of them have the capability to be able to make it to the next level. And I luckily was able to do that at multiple levels in college, right? And so I'm pretty hard on them. I try to hold them accountable because that's what they want. And I wish that I had a coach like that in high school that would have pushed me to my highest ability aside from my dad.
Right.
And so I give my speech after, and honestly, this whole season, I've kind of had a vibe. I'm like, I don't know if they really like me very much. I know they like me, but like, I don't think I'm one of the faves anymore. That kind of vibe. And after the game, I give my speech, and basically every single girl came up, gave me a hug, told me they loved me, and said thank you.
Good
and
job.
I was like, I started crying like a baby because I can't help myself. But I'm like, it makes all of it worth it. And it's like, even though I might have been harder on myself than how they really thought. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I'm so inside myself and
So are you
inside my
back?
head all the
Are you
time.
gonna go
You're so
back?
inside yourself, just like I was saying. We were so inside ourselves at the game that thinking people behind us are like, how rude.
Yeah.
You get caught in your head that
Exactly.
nobody cares.
Right, nobody cares.
right.
We're all just trying to win. We're all going towards the same goal. But yeah,
You'll
I'll be
be
back.
back?
That's
I'll be
good.
back.
Congratulations, Payton.
Thanks.
You made it that far. Kyle, what's coming up? 3 things you need to know.
I'm going to tell you what just went missing that we should all be very worried about. Next with John, Jay, and Rich.
Here we go. I wake up with them. Get up.
John Jay and Rich.
John, Jay, and Rich, Kyle's got 3 things we need to know.
So I think it just sounds like a plot of a movie, like a superhero movie or something like that. North Carolina officials are now asking for the public's help after equipment containing radioactive material was stolen from a pickup truck at the Sleep-In Motel. I guess they didn't realize the device was missing until the following day. State health officials say this industrial device contains radioactive material that can cause physical harm if mishandled. Anyone who finds the device is advised not to approach it. Don't try to open it. Stay at least 30 feet away from it and just call 911. Now, I'm no expert on radioactive devices, but methinks they probably should have put it in a more secure place than a pickup truck at a motel.
You're
That was
right.
just me.
This is the beginning of Mission Impossible 5, 6, and 7.
I know.
I was going to say, call Jack Reacher.
What? Seriously. So hopefully we can find it and nobody gets hurt. History will be made. Kind of on Friday. It's something that doesn't happen and won't happen again until 2040. 7 planets will line up in a parade on Friday. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune will be visible from Earth with the naked eye. Although they say if you want to get a really good look at it, you need a good telescope. It is called a planetary parade. And like I said, it won't happen again for a really long time. So kind of cool.
I have issues with this because I heard about this a month ago. I brought this up on Friday. And I was sitting there. You remember I said it was at dusk?
Yes.
So Friday, I was outside looking, and I could see all these. They look like it was happening, but I can't tell what planets, what planet. But so I was off. What day do you have it? It's next Friday?
This Friday.
That's crazy.
I know.
These NASA people need to get their stuff in order.
I think the planets don't move that quickly, right?
Yeah.
So like they've kind of have been lining up for a while, and I think
Perfect
Friday is
alignment
supposedly the best day to see them right in a straight line. Scientists, you guys have developed something that sounds, I don't know, it sounds dangerous. Maybe they used the radioactive device to create this, not sure. But they've developed bananas that don't go brown and mushy after being peeled. In fact, these bananas will stay fresh for about 24 hours after opening and even cutting the banana, slicing it, which to me is like, what did they put in it? I don't know if that sounds healthy, but they say they taste, smell, and the texture, everything's the same about these bananas, but these ones just stay fresh for a little bit longer. The company is called Tropic. They say they're also working on a project aimed at slowing down the ripening of bananas to reduce waste because, I mean, how many bananas get thrown away? I mean, you don't always make the banana bread out of browned bananas. So wait and see what happens. I mean, like, this is one of those things that I think like, oh, the side effects of those bananas that don't go brown, so a whole something else. But as of now, that's what they're working on. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Last night, it was the Oscars, right? And I actually, there was a Phoenix Suns game last night. And I was like, I wonder if I took a poll. Who would rather stay home, watch the Oscars, or go to the Phoenix Suns game? Who do you think won the poll?
I think you guys went to the Suns game.
Oh, no. I went to the Suns game because I was going to lose those tickets. But the poll?
I would say Suns game by far.
America would much rather go to the Suns game. Or
Suns
you
game.
guys are right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Because most people haven't watched many of the movies that won Oscars.
Well, and most of the categories could maybe not be televised.
I know. You know what's funny is I watched the beginning and then I went into the sauna. Nothing mattered after that. I saw Kieran Culkin win and I was kind of like,
yeah, that was good up until then because you had Cynthia Erivo and Ariana just crushing it.
That was the highlight of the entire show.
Yeah,
so
it was, for sure.
If you literally just watched, I think, the first 10, 15 minutes of the Oscars, I think you got the best parts.
all right. All right, let's get the horoscopes. Peyton, what is the vibe today?
Well, we found out that we're giving away Rolling Loud tickets all week. So I'm going to tell you your festival vibe based on your zodiac sign.
Pealo.
Yes.
What's your sign?
I'm a Leo like Payton.
Yes. Okay, Leos for us at music festivals. We are the fashion icon. We planned our outfits months in advance, and if we don't get stopped for a picture, it probably wasn't even worth it. We are walking around like we own the whole festival, dancing on someone's shoulders during the headliner, and low-key hoping to be noticed by the event photographer.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
You got it. What's up, Mike?
Ruby.
What?
Virgo, represent Virgo.
Yes, Virgo with you, John Jay. Okay. You guys are the group mom at the festivals. You guys have a fully stocked backpack with sunscreen, Band-Aids, and snacks, and maybe some extra phone chargers. And you've also memorized the festival map and who's playing. And while everyone else is lost and dehydrated, you're probably in the back trying to get your own space and drinking your water on your own time.
Double-fisted, baby. Double-fisted.
Yes.
You know, it's what I
Thank you.
would agree with that. I was hiking with a friend of mine, and there was a couple of emergencies that have happened on the hike that I haven't talked about. So now, as we go hiking, I am now prepared for. I have Band-Aids. I have dude wipes.
Wow.
That's not an emergency you want on a hike.
And sadly, that happened.
Oh.
Not with me.
Uh-oh.
Mother of God. Yeah.
You know, it happens.
877-937-1047. Good morning, Melody.
Hello?
Hi, what's your sign?
Pisces.
Okay,
It's
so
for my daughter. She's a Pisces.
Rich is a
today. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, well, happy
Happy birthday.
And it is Pisces season. Rich is also Pisces. And also, if it's your birthday today, you share a birthday with Camila Cabello, Jason Tatum, and Jessica Biel. So it's a good birthday today to have one. But Pisces, for you guys at a festival, you guys are the dreamy festival romantic. You are fully in another world. You're swaying to the music like you're starring in your own indie movie, and you're making deep eye contact with somebody across the crowd, convinced that that is your fate. You'll probably fall in love for the weekend and then never see that person ever again.
Rich is also Pisces, and also
Okay, boy, there's a little delay
All
there.
true. All true.
Yeah.
Like we were at an event this weekend, and there's a lot going on. But as soon as somebody starts playing music on stage, my focus is gone from the other conversation. It's all in the music.
What do you have for Libras?
Yeah, Kyle, our Libra. Libra, you're the social butterfly at the festival. You barely even watch the shows because you're too busy meeting with people, flirting with a hot stranger, and somehow getting invited to the VIP after party. Your festival experience is more about the people and the vibes and the outfits than the actual music.
I would say that's probably accurate.
You're like,
That sounds fun. Like everything you said. Like, yeah, I would do that, I guess.
yeah.
I mean, if I wasn't married, that whole flirting
Well, yeah,
part,
of
that
course.
part, you know.
Right. Like, this is like, yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-marriage.
You know.
If we didn't get to your sign, they're all posted on our website, johnjrich.com. We got Rolling Loud tickets every single day this week. In fact, in less than 2 hours, we're giving away tickets to Rolling Loud. It's A$AP Rocky, played by Cardi, Peso Pluma. So many more artists there. That's just in less than 2 hours. All right, listen, I want to do a quick TV recap or get into TV. I kept telling everyone to watch Paradise. Has anyone here watched Paradise?
I'm started it.
Okay, how far are you?
I think I'm 3 episodes in.
What do you think?
It's really, really good.
Right?
Really good. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it except for this. I'm like, this is a very unfamiliar show, and yet it's familiar the way they roll it out.
Right.
So I think it's like a post-apocalyptic This Is Us, the way they go back and forth. And I'm starting to think about that because, Sterling K. Brown's in it. And then I realize, I go look it up, and it's the guys that did This Is Us are doing this show, too.
Oh, really?
So when they go back and forth between, flashbacks and flash forwards and getting people's backstory, that's what it is. It's like post-apocalyptic This Is Us.
I have 2 episodes left, and then it's over. Season 1's done.
And do they solve like all the questions
I don't know. I have
that
2
come up?
episodes left.
They better, because they come up with. This is a show, Payton, you would not like because you have to pay attention to it.
Okay.
And I don't like paying attention really deeply to shows either. But because John Jay hit me up, I was like right in the middle of stuff on Saturday. He's like, "You must watch this show." I'm like,
because
okay.
there was a music thing that happened. Every time there's musical stuff, I'm like, it's like 80s, 90s rock.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, I got to tell Rich.
But still.
Yeah.
But still, it's really good. It's really
I think
captivating.
you'd really like it, Kyle.
I probably would.
It's on Hulu.
Just the fact that you say Hulu, it looks like my brain turns it off.
I know. You know what's funny?
And I know I can go to Disney Plus, but I just don't have that mindset.
Well,
That's how I'm watching.
I tried to overcome what I don't like about Hulu, and so far I'm okay with it because I'm looking for this one particular show. Now, also the #1 show on Netflix. Anyone watching that?
Yeah.
I did.
Running
Playing Point. Is it Running Point or Playing Point?
Running Point.
Okay. How far are you on that, Kyle?
I'm on episode 4, I think. I just started episode 4.
How far are you, Peyton?
I'm on episode 2.
Oh, I have 20 minutes left of the last episode.
Oh.
I think it's fantastic.
It's so good. Do you know what it reminds me of the other one, or the the brother is in the HBO Max show with the families, and there was like the Justin Bieber. Like, yeah, they're two. Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's cute and it's funny, and it's about Jeannie Buss, who like runs the Lakers. But like when I was watching it, I put it on. And I didn't tell my boyfriend Kadeem what it was about. And he was like, is this about Jeannie Buss? And I was like, yeah, it is. But because it's not like a documentary, it's messing with my mind.
Oh my God. That's why I wanted to watch it, is because it wasn't a documentary.
Oh my gosh, I wish it was a documentary. I would rather have Jeannie Buss talk to me on TV.
Kate Hudson plays Jeannie Buss, which is funny because Kate Hudson was also, her mom was on the Oscars last night, Goldie Hawn. There was a lot of tie-ins with where I am on that show with only 20 minutes left of the season because they talk about Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler was on the Oscars last night. Have you seen the cameos yet? Macaulay Culkin,
No.
Scott Disick. There's a whole bunch of different cameos of celebrities because it's written by...
There was like Brian Austin Green.
Mindy Kaling put it together with Jeannie Buss.
Well, she put together everything.
This show made me laugh out loud so many different times. I think it is so funny. It's so different. It reminds me of shows... Like kind of like Family Guy. Like there are no, oh God, we got to be woke here. They just let things out. The drug issues, the whatever, right? I mean, it's just...
Yeah, when she tells her brother, she's like, I always wanted to try crack.
Right.
I was like, oh my gosh.
And they go, so-and-so, he's a meth head. He is not a crackhead. He goes, we call those rich people with a drug problem. There's just so many funny lines in that show. It's so great. I have 20 minutes. I so badly wanted to be done with it, so I'd come in here and go, I finished it. But anyway, it's on Netflix. It's number one on Netflix, and I think it is absolutely fantastic. So many celebrities that you'll see. You got to pay attention to really quick.
I like that Schmidt from New Girl is in it because that's like New Girl is my comfort show. Like I put that on.
Is that her fiance?
Yeah. I just love. I love Schmidt.
Him.
Like he's so funny. So the fact that he's in it honestly had me sold.
I am the lunch. I'm Roman.
It's John, Jay, and Rich. Destiny.
Yeah, hi.
What's up? Good morning.
Good morning. I was laughing. You guys were talking about Peyton's friend that stopped dating that guy because he scratched his head with a knife. And it reminded me of my dad. He had an El Camino when we were growing up, and he would take the key out of the ignition while we're driving, stick it in his ear, like clean his ear, and then put it back in the ignition. And it was so gross. And then like a few years ago, my brother had keys in his hand and he stuck the key in his ear, and I was like, oh my God, how are you married?
He's like, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Totally got that from his dad.
I like the engineering marvel of your dad not even having the engine get killed by pulling the key out of the ignition.
I know, so gross.
I was saying how my dad would take a pen and rub his ear, clean his ear out with a pen. And what would happen is occasionally my sister, me, or my mom would put that pen in our mouth.
Ew.
And you know how you guys, I'm sure you've all tasted earwax. Like, I got it. My mom.
I never put the keys in my mouth.
That's good.
Pens go in your mouth.
That's
right?
true, yeah.
Right. So my mom was screaming at my dad in Spanish and all that stuff. That was terrible. Well, Destiny, thanks for making us smile and grossing us out.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one, guys. We love you.
Bye-bye. Love you too. Rich, what do you got for life hacks today?
The hack to writing down away your stress.
Oh, we got stacks and hacks. Plus, Payton has a question for the room. All that's coming up next with John, Jay, and Rich.
I wanna be next to you.
John, Jay, and Rich. You know, when I first started radio, I was an intern, and my boss at the time, I think I was 18 years old, said to me, wherever you go in this building, no matter, even if you're doing nothing, carry a pencil and a piece of paper with you, because it'll always look like you're doing something. And I've always done that. And now here it is making news. There's a new workplace term called task masking. Is when people spend a lot of effort just trying to look busy. Like, and that doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
I've seen Payton back there on her phone shopping.
That's because I work ahead.
I've seen Grant over there watching a movie.
Do you know who looks?
No one's even trying to hide it here.
Time management.
Well, you know what, though? I read that same article, and it said doing that, actually, it stops you from reaching your full potential anyway, so it's not good to do that. So it's good that no one here does it.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
really?
Good.
I
We're
was
looking
saying,
at this all wrong.
walk fast through the hall, too, because it looks like you're going to do something.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know there will be a 9:30 screening of Casino in my office.
According to a poll, 14% of people say they always, often, or sometimes cheat when playing a card game or board game. That's lame.
That is lame.
The annual Florida Man Games were a big success this year. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
It's the second year they've done them. Florida, it's exactly what you think it would be.
Well, where else are you going to find anything like this? Like, yeah, we've got the Olympics, and they've been around forever, but they don't have gator tossing. They don't have sumo wrestling. They don't have how much beer you can drink.
It's exactly on brand the way I thought it would be. It's the right level of, like, grimy and extravagant and debaucherous. It's exactly what I want. It's a lot of people.
So some of the events are the evading arrest obstacle course, you escape from handcuffs.
Yeah.
The weaponized pool noodle mud duel, the Florida sumo cage match, beer chug, the hurricane party prep, the grocery aisle brawl, and human beer pong. Those are some of the events they do.
People are so creative.
There's a hot new trend at Milan Fashion Week this week, was low-cut jeans with a hint of plumber's crack showing for both men and women.
Oh, no.
I saw who wore, I think it was like Zoe Kravitz wore an outfit to the Oscars, and like in the very front it was this classy black dress, and then in the back it was like open back and it was mesh like right above her crack, but I thought it looked so like
great.
chic.
Did you notice? I noticed this. Robert Downey Jr. when he came out, his tuxedo,
His flare jeans
it was
pants.
very Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He had bell-bottom tuxedo pants.
Citigroup, and it's funny sometimes when I get news from my 18-year-old son. He told me something on Friday, and here it is news. Citigroup accidentally credited a customer's account with $81 trillion.
What?
$81 trillion instead of the $280 they were supposed to. $81 trillion. My son Dutch like, I'd be gone. Like, they come after you. They take it back.
I know, but like whatever happened to Monopoly, like bank error in your favor. Right.
What do you have for life hacks, Rich?
Test time is happening, exam time is happening, and they say the thing that freaks you out most is not that you're not prepared, but you're worried about being prepared. So here's a little brain hack that you can do, and this will work for a lot of things too. Before you take any kind of exam that you're worried about, of course, study, but then write down what you're worried about on a piece of paper with your own handwriting, with the pen, crumble it up, throw it away. In fact, they said this works for life too. Whatever you're stressed about in life, whatever's rolling around in your head, write it down on paper, crumble it up, throw it away, and that helps your brain get ready for whatever is coming up next in life. I've done this. It actually works. It works really
I've done this as well. I had a psychiatrist tell me to do this, but the last thing was burn it and destroy it. Write everything down and burn it.
Well, that's pretty extreme. That's for
that is gone.
the heavy emotional stuff. But yeah, whatever gets rid of it.
Oh, really? It was for how I didn't like the ending of Lost.
Well, you did need to get rid of that. So if you needed to burn it for that to go away.
You shouldn't be over that because that was a terrible ending of the
I
show.
burnt it. I'm gone. I'm over it. I forgive J.J. Abrams. That's why I'm a big fan of Gracie Abrams.
Life hacks and more can be found at johnjanerich.com.
We want you to be part of the show. Call us 877-937-1047. Get on the air with John, Jay, and Rich.
It's John, Jay, and Rich. Phone number's 877-937-1047. The text line, you text JJR and whatever you want to say to the number 96893. We'll text you back or call you back. In fact, here's one right now for Payton. Oh my God, Payton, I love the lip stain. I was using it for about 6 months, and I was living and having an allergic reaction to it. I didn't even know until a couple weeks ago. So sad about that.
Oh, no.
But wouldn't the allergic reaction be making your lips bigger? So wasn't that a good thing?
It's like a natural lip filler.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What's the question you have for the room, Payton Whitmore?
Well, my question for the room, and this is perfect for you guys because you've been married for some time. John Jay with Blake, Kyle, you with Scott, and Rich, I think we're coming up on your wedding anniversary, right? With Stacy, 2 years?
Tomorrow, actually.
Whoa.
Tomorrow.
That flew by so fast. Okay.
I go to Walgreens to get a card or something.
I know, you have to. You got to show out for the 2nd year anniversary. That's big time. I've been with my boyfriend, Kadeem. We're coming up on being together for 5 years, which I'm 26. So I feel like 5 years is a long time to be with somebody. Like, my whole 20s have been with this man. And my question is, when you've been with somebody for what feels like so long, and things start to feel routine, and like you're just going through the flow, like you still love each other, but like you're like you're kind of at like your little plateau, like you're good, but like how do you keep that connection? Like what do you do to stay connected to your partner? What do you do to continue to keep that spark alive, to be able to thrive in your marriage and in your relationship?
That's a great question. But my first question to you is it plateau or plateau?
I kind of like plateau.
Plateau?
Don't
You
ask
guys
me. I say
know
La Croix.
I don't know how to say words
I
right.
knew that was stuck, John Jay.
That's the second platform. Plateau.
You going to work for a cab in Vegas? Go to Plateau. You're Plat 1, you're Plat 7.
Tough room, Peyton. I'm sorry.
You have reached Plateau.
I do say words wrong
You're at
all the time.
Disneyland? Welcome to Plateau.
You know, I appreciate you, John Jay, keeping me in line.
Okay, what were you saying now? Sorry. I didn't hear anything after Plateau.
How do you stay connected to your partner when you feel like you're just in a lull? Did I
Ask the
say that
rookie.
right?
Let's go to you first, Rich.
I've had this rule for Stacy and I that is a hard, fast rule that I try to never break, and I think it's so important, and it is you got to go on a date at least once a week. I know it's hard. I know people are busy. Everybody's busy, and we've been on several dates where Stacy's like in her phone, like doing work stuff. But you still got to try to put the phones down and go hang out. And I even think it's important to drive somewhere to go eat. So you talk in the car, you talk at dinner, and then you talk on the way home. You're just making some time for each other. Otherwise, it gets too busy and you get in routine and everybody's got their stuff. Everybody's got 1,000 plates in the air, right? And you and Kadeem both do too. So I think that is probably the biggest thing to connect is being able to spend some quality time where it's just you two. And even after you have kids, you still got to do the same thing.
Okay.
Get a babysitter, go out.
Okay, let's 877-937-1047. If you can answer Peyton's question differently than Rich or what Kyle, what's your take on it?
I mean, I have little kids right now, and get a babysitter, go out isn't really always an option. So, like, while I would love to do a date night once a week, that's not realistic in, like, our schedule per se. But I think it's more about just being intentional about the time that you do have with one another, like putting the phone down and having actually real conversations about, like, things that you can be excited about in the future. I feel like always having a goal together in the next year, 5 years, 10 years that you're working on towards something together, I think always helps me stay connected with Scott. Like, that's one specific thing. Like, I would love to go on date nights all the time, but that's just like, we don't go anywhere. We're at home with the kids because I want to spend time as a family too. But anytime that we do get together, it's more for me about being really intentional with, like, okay, we've got 10 minutes here to chat. Like, let's put the phones down and actually talk about life.
Okay. I like that. And I think I can find a happy medium between you, Kyle, and Rich because we don't have kids. So we do have the luxury to be able to go out on date nights, but also we should be setting goals for the future, right? Because the next steps are marriage and kids. So I think I can find something right in the middle. I like that. Thanks.
Yeah.
For us, we like to bring strange men into the bedroom. Many at a time. And I usually leave.
Oh my gosh, well that's not happening.
Put your good TVs in the bedroom. Why not send them somewhere else? You'll be watching TV.
How you get connected to other people.
You are ridiculous. That
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing
happening.
it. They've been doing it a minute. You should ask them.
Yeah.
Ask Blake how she does it. How do you?
Yeah,
That's a mystery.
I mean, one way, let's see, how do you stay connected? It's such a great question. I mean, there's different, we're always trying different stuff, but it was like, even yesterday was week 2, the second Sunday in a row of she wanted to go over our calendars. Right?
Man, you don't really keep a calendar, so somebody has to.
I know. I started writing stuff down as she was saying it. So how do we stay connected? That's such a good, I mean, go on a walk. Well, actually, you know what we do is on the weekends, because, you know, we get to sleep in, her and I, when I don't have to come in here, we go walk to breakfast somewhere, or we go walk, have coffee, and we play a backgammon game. And we kind of like talk a little bit like about that sometimes.
That's a date.
I actually like that because for Christmas I got Kadeem a chessboard and I was so excited to give it to him, and we played it like right after I gave it to him a couple times. But maybe that could be like a thing.
Yeah,
like
that
we
could
play
be like a little connection.
Yeah, like he's teaching me how to play chess. You know, like what a nerd.
Yeah, to be connected, you have to disconnect from the other stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly your phone.
Okay.
Like phones on dates just screw it all up. Phones when you're trying to be intentional, like what Kyle's saying, it just screws it up. You got to be focused.
I like the disconnect to be connected because I am always in my phone and I am always like I'm working or I'm doing something, and it feels like it's just so like there's no time for just us. So
another way to stay connected is just to have kids.
I mean,
then you're forever connected.
If it was up to him, we would have a kid yesterday.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like kids. I love my kids so much, but it's like if you have more than one, a lot of times it's like divide and conquer. So sometimes it's like when you're doing the parenting thing, you feel more disconnected because you're like, you go do this with him, I'll go do this with her, and then we'll be like, and then success. We're like trying to be, but then it like makes you be like, oh wait, we need to still like hang out and
Yeah,
stuff.
like we still like each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
And before you get married, I think you got to do whatever the church or whoever you get married, do the pre-marriage counseling, because they teach you all the stuff about how you communicate because you're different than he is, and you take all these
we
tests.
are so total opposites.
Yeah, and you find out like what pushes your buttons, what pushes his buttons, so you walk in with like kind of a little bit of a game plan.
Okay.
Like who's going to stay home, who's going to work, all that
I like
stuff.
it. Good advice. Thanks, guys. You guys are pros.
You guys will be fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Peyton, you're always talking. There's
I
no
know.
way you will ever be not connected to Kadeem.
Ivan, you got advice for Peyton?
I do.
What do you got?
All right, so something that I would definitely recommend is like pick up a hobby together. Like me and unfortunately my ex-girlfriend, we learned how to dance together. So salsa or country or something like that.
And now she's dancing with someone else.
But so am I. So
good for
there
you.
go.
Oh, all right.
That is fun though. Like
that's
pickleball or like you said, dancing or chess. I mean, that's a
love
new
that.
hobby too.
That's such a good idea. And like one of the big things that Kadeem and I, when we first started dating and got to know each other, like we both played basketball our whole lives. Our dads were our coaches. And I'm like sitting over here, I'm like, my dad got a basketball gym. Why don't we just go play one-on-one or something?
Yeah, totally.
So is something happening? Are you guys just? Hey, Ivan, thanks, brother. Thank you for listening. Is something happening? You guys, what happened?
No, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. We're good. I just feel like we're just like in cruise control. Like we're so good. We're so in love. But I feel like we're just going through the motions.
I mean, you were
like,
gone for a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that this conversation wouldn't really happen right now. You were just gone for a week, so you think you'd come back and be all connected. Something's going on. Something's going on, I can tell.
Who hurt you, Peyton?
Oh, gosh.
Nobody hurt me. Nothing's going on. I was just wondering ideas on ways to stay connected to my boyfriend so we don't have problems.
A 602 number just texted and said, quality time over quantity time. I agree with that. I agree. All right, well, hope if anyone has more advice, just shoot us a text. Text JGR. Whatever your advice is for Peyton to 96893. All right, we're going to switch gears, okay? This should be heavy because we're promoting it all weekend. We want to get into school scandals. Like, what did your teacher or your professor do to put your school on the map, but maybe not in the best way? So if you have a story, call us at 877-937-1047. We're going to do it after Sabrina Carpenter. 1047 KISS FM. It's John, Jay, and Rich. Susie, good morning. Thanks for holding. What's going on?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I know you love doing those crazy, scandalous topic stories. So I have got the best one for you. It's a really good one. So
all right, you said, wait. You said we like to do scandalous topic stories. I mean, we like to do whatever's going on in your world. If somebody suggests something, we like to roll with it. If it happens to be scandalous, great. We also like to take cake recipes.
Yeah, we do a lot of those.
Yeah, so many. I mean, so go ahead, Susie. What is your scandalous story?
Okay, my scandalous story is that one time when I was in college, on the very first day, it was like my biology class, my professor, we're all waiting for him, right? So he walks in, and then he like puts down all of this stuff, and he's like very serious. He looks at us, and he's like, okay, guys, before we get started, I have to tell you something. So we're all just curious, but he's just like, years ago, I did gay porn movie. The whole class was like dead silent, and he goes into explanation and like, okay, well, I just wanted to just put it out there just in case if anyone found out so that it wouldn't turn into like such a big scandal. Like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I was just trying to get through my syllabus class. But that really got me thinking like, okay, there has to be more teacher scandals out there, right? Like, I need to know this.
Why?
What was he thinking? Because everyone went home and Googled it.
Yeah.
He could have gone with nobody learning it the whole semester. I mean, I get trying to get ahead of a scandal, but then also it's
I feel like maybe he wanted them to go see it so he could get more clicks on his OnlyFans.
Did you find out the name of the movie? Was it You Got Mail? Was it Goodwill Humping?
Bye, John Jay.
You are so inappropriate.
I didn't necessarily have like a super scandal. I mean, there was one scandal in high school with this teacher. He was our Spanish teacher. Such a cool guy. Like, he was so chill. Like, he was the teacher that would like give you the passes just so you could walk around and not have to be in class, right? And all of a sudden he like started showing up to like school like so disheveled and like so like I don't know, like he wasn't himself. Long story short, he ended up getting fired, but it came down that he was like going and losing his mind because he was going through a divorce because his wife left him for a woman. We were like, it was crazy.
Oh, I had a couple. I think I've shared it before. Like, I found out that my 8th grade, like, student government teacher, she actually ended up going and moving up into the administration and being in top administration in the school. And I guess she was, like, embezzling money from the school.
That's big.
That was one. And then my sisters had a science teacher in 7th grade or 6th grade. And we come to find out later he, like, ran away with a 12-year-old, one of his students. I know. It was like a whole big thing, too.
That's scandalous.
My grade school made the news. I went to a Catholic grade school, St. Sabina. You could probably look it up if you want. In beautiful Florissant, Missouri. And the school shut down because the head priest got caught using some of the students to sell drugs to other kids in the neighborhood.
That's terrible.
It was a very big scandal.
See, you're giving us lots of information and saying you could look it up. Susie's professor's like, I was in a gay porn just so you don't go look it up. Like,
You're going to go look it up.
yeah, like, give us, like, how do you look it up? Like, did you guys ever find it, Susie?
We didn't. It was kind of just like really, like I said, it was just so scandalous. I don't know. I didn't.
Was it Everyone I Did Last Summer?
What else could it be?
I'm sure Susie also didn't want to see her teacher in that.
E.T., the extra testicles?
What the heck?
What about Bitanic? Was it Bitanic? No? 40 gays and 40 nights?
Okay, all right. Okay. No, none of the above. She doesn't know.
Was it King Dong?
We're done.
I wonder what the movie could have been called.
Throbbing Hood?
Oh, my gosh. Stop.
I've never used the cuss button so much on one of us.
No, okay. Well, Susie, it's a great subject to get into is scandalous teacher-professor stories, right? Was it Ocean's 11 Inches?
Oh, my gosh.
No?
Andre.
Okay.
I thought we were done.
I mean,
We're never going to be
if I
done.
look it up.
No, I don't think it would. I would probably look it up too, but I don't know if I would also want to see
But
that.
then
I'd
it's
be
like,
scarred
you know,
for life.
he's probably not using his real name.
Yeah.
So it could be kind of hard to find.
Well, also, though, like, facial recognition is a thing nowadays. Like, you could have just taken a picture of that professor, thrown it on Google or the dark web. I don't know
Reverse
where you
search.
find that and reverse search it.
But then do you really want to see your
No,
professor?
you
No,
know.
I mean, you
you
probably
know,
do.
you know.
Was it Gulp Fiction?
Okay.
No?
So you think he had other classes that same day? Just announce it to all the classes. Before we get started, I know you all know that I did porn.
Right, did he
Just
say his
like-
name first?
Yeah. Every class got the same speech.
Susie, let's do it. Let's get into it. 877-937-1047. Want to hear about your professor. I think a professor-teacher scandal. All right. Thank you, Susie.
John and Rich.
Susie called up and said, you guys should get into teacher or professor scandals. And Lene, you have one.
Yeah, I wanted to call in. So I'm a senior, and after 3 years of college, I swear my school has the craziest professors out there. So I just wanted to share a couple of stories, if it's okay. It's kind of crazy, but...
Okay.
Okay, so freshman year, we had a professor, and they caught him stealing, students' essays. And he was basically trying to, publish them, as his own work, into, journals and stuff. You know what I mean? Copying the undergrad.
I wonder how he thought that wasn't going to come back.
I thought, how did he get that job? But then he probably stole from other people.
So yeah. Okay, so, I have a million, so I'm just going to, think of what I can remember. There was another one, it was a philosophy professor, and he, halfway through the semester, he just disappeared, no warning, no email, no nothing. He was just gone. And, the rumor was that, maybe he joined, a cult or a commune or something. I don't know. So, we had to, have somebody else come in and finish so, we get our grades and stuff. But it was crazy because it's one day he was there and the next day he was gone.
That's kind of an interesting thing. Where, hi, I'm the sub. Your teacher has joined a cult.
I know.
So let's continue to talk about syllabus.
Okay, there's another one, sophomore, that was even wilder. And actually, this professor for sure got fired, I know. And she was basically charging students extra, or money for extra credit. So you could like let's say you send her $50 cash app, you could bump your grade up. You can pass the class. So, which I probably wouldn't mind so much. I probably wouldn't have said anything, but somebody ratted her out.
It's probably kind of a life lesson because I feel like a lot of people actually do that in real life. Like,
exactly.
Real world.
Your college is like a soap opera.
Yeah.
No, it is. Okay, there was another one. There was a teacher who was doing like ASMR videos and stuff. Like he had like a whole YouTube, which probably wasn't smart, but it wasn't bad that he had the ASMR channel because it wasn't like sexual or anything, but it was just that like he was using the school's equipment and doing it during school hours. And I mean, it was seductive talking, you know what I mean? So the school
you're like taking a test and all you hear is, yes.
Yeah.
Gross.
I mean, it was actually kind of weird, too. So everyone's like, oh, it makes sense that he was into that. There was another year. No, this one was crazy to me. There was a chemistry teacher. And apparently, like, after hours, like, him and I don't know if it was some of the other teachers or who exactly it was, but he was running, like, an illegal, like, gambling ring, like, out of the department room, like, the break room. Basically, like, betting on the students' grades. Like, like a Hunger Game type of deal.
Wow, him and his friends.
Your school is so messed up.
Well, can't they control the students' grades? You could, like, really hedge your bets in your favor.
No.
You could, because then you can just be like, oh, I'm going to add this to the students' grades or whatever.
Yeah. See how tough that would be if you're both getting money for the Cash App to bump the grade, but you're betting against the student to get a C.
And that's how you get in deep right
Well, you know what's funny about it is like when you think about these kind of teachers that were probably like, I mean, I have a friend of mine that I grew up with that was just a whack job, and he's a history teacher now. And I can't believe that guy's a teacher. Do you know what I mean? Like everything you just said, he could do.
I actually heard that some of the biology teachers are even worse, so.
Yeah.
But, no, so then, okay, so let me tell you, I have one more. So there was a professor. There was a professor who he was an English teacher, and he would basically like have these crazy meltdowns, like in the class, like after he would get like a review about his book, and he would just rant like the whole class, like about his review and go crazy. Like he wouldn't even teach the class. So that one was kind of crazy too, because like, you would just be in there and you wouldn't learn anything, and then he'd give you a test, and it's like, well, you've been ranting the whole day about your book, so.
Let me tell you,
we have some crazy professors.
The weirdest teacher I ever had, and it doesn't compare to any of these stories, and it sticks with me to this day. I was in 11th grade, and his name was Mr. Doty, D-O-T-Y. He starts school, and he tells us two things. My ancestors were on the Mayflower. He said you can look it up, which now you Google it. I have Googled it so many times when I'm bored, and sure enough, there's a Doty on the Mayflower.
That's trippy.
And he lives in a house with 7 doors. And I don't know why that stuck with me, but now every time my house when I'm bored, I try to count my doors, and I feel like the amount of the doors you have is a success because of Mr. Doty.
I live in a house with 7 doors.
I have a house with 7 doors, unless of course she was somehow related to Snow White, and I misunderstood.
Oh my goodness, John Jay, I do not know why that story just like relaunched another teacher scandal that I cannot believe I did not think about, and you can literally look this up. So I went to Santan Junior High in Chandler, Arizona. You guys might remember this. I don't know. I want to say it was like 2010, 2011, or 2012, somewhere in there. My English teacher, her name was Miss Garcia, and for some reason, we didn't like Miss Garcia. She always got mad at us when we would chew gum in class. We just wanted to chew gum, and she always used to wear these huge high heels, and she always had a full face beat, but everybody did not like her. So when we were at school, apparently in my English class, literally there was 5 kids in my English class. They wrote 10 ways to kill Miss Garcia on a paper.
Oh my God.
On a paper. And then this other girl who also sat with them, who they weren't letting see the paper, waited when we all went to lunch, went into their backpack, took the paper, showed the teacher. The police got called. These kids got arrested on campus. You can literally go look it up. Sandan Junior High death threat.
You know, you could also look up Edward Doty. He was on the Mayflower.
No, did you just do it again? Did you think that manifest had changed over the years?
I can't believe I forgot about that. That was so wild.
You know, I should have known that Grant was going to participate in this.
I've gone to college twice, and about 10 years apart. And dude, the difference, the first time versus the second time, I had a summer course, so it was 3 hours a day, 4 days a week, and it was it was a upper divisional history about the first 16 presidents exclusively for 3 months. That's all it was. And the guy who taught the class had a syndrome called Mobius syndrome, where half of his face was paralyzed. And he would talk like this the whole class. And he, the first day it was jarring, but he also knew that it was hard to listen to. But he had fun with it. There was one day we were all in, the cafeteria area, and he just came out of the cafeteria in front of, everybody, and just came out and, so loud was like, "There's something wrong with the chicken." It caused his problem, and he panicked. That was his panic. So everybody was like, "Don't eat the chicken, dude. Don't eat the chicken."
Is the chicken the scandal?
What?
Is the chicken the scandal?
He caused the scandal. He just was like, "I just wanted to give a shout out." I don't even remember his name, but he was a great professor.
He just remembered his professor.
Yeah,
and
dude, he was a sweet boy. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So,
I've never heard of Mobius syndrome.
Mobius syndrome.
Oh, Mobius.
I got it.
Thank you, Candyman.
Well, anyway, you guys have a good day. I'll formally submit my resignation. This actually was my formal resignation. Yeah.
Hey, Lene, thank you for sharing those stories with us.
Yeah, I have one more semester left, so we'll see.
Oh, you have one more semester left. Okay, good. I was say I have one more. I was like, oh my god.
So I'll call back if something pops off.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
What are you looking for in a new smart TV? 4K picture quality, high quality and immersive sound, a sleek design? All of those are givens, but only the new Roku Pro series has all of those and the Roku streaming experience, an award-winning OS. Get fast, easy access to all your apps like iHeart, where you can stream all your favorite music, radio, and podcasts all day, and regular all-inclusive trips to Roku City. The new Roku Pro series, a smart TV built by the streaming pros.
I'm Molly Roberts.
And I'm Drew Goins. Each Friday on Impromptu, we talk through the questions we can't stop thinking about.
Do we need to rethink how much we drink?
Why are companies really asking workers to come back to the office?
Does boycotting a business actually work?
Should we quit social media?
We're here when the news gets personal and the headlines hit home.
Join Molly and me every Friday on Impromptu from Washington Post Opinions.
Find Impromptu wherever you get your podcasts.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include a lot more people than ourselves. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, we help plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because even though our business is helping guide your finances, our ambition is to make it mean so much more. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
John, Jay, and Rich. Anna, thanks for holding. You got a teacher scandal?
Hey, Jojo.
Hey, what happened?
I do. So this is not one that happened to me, but it's one that I grew up hearing from my dad. So when he met my mom, she was going to a Catholic school, and he was at a local public school. And so one night, him and a couple of his buddies allegedly, and I'm going to say allegedly so he doesn't get in trouble, they greased up some pigs and they let them loose inside the school. And everyone blamed the football team at the private school, but it was people from a local community.
That is epic.
Public school.
Wait, is that a teacher? Are the teachers
No,
involved
my dad. Well, how did they get onto the campus?
I think she's just calling it a school scandal.
Oh.
That's fair. I mean, that's
It's
a
a prank,
scandal.
basically.
Yeah.
A prank gone wrong if the wrong guy's got in trouble.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Anna.
You're welcome.
877-937-1047. Scandals. Teacher scandals. Kelly, thanks for holding.
So in high school, my keyboarding teacher, I think it was my junior year, maybe earlier, maybe sophomore year, my keyboarding teacher was a very young new teacher, was sleeping with one of the students. The school found out about it, of course, and said, stop seeing the student, what are you doing? And he was not cute, so that was also very weird. Anyway, he wouldn't stop seeing the student. They kept dating. I think they actually went on to get married. However, I never learned how to keyboard. Like I type. I can't.
So he's a terrible teacher.
He's not even teaching what he's supposed to. That's the scandal.
I literally work, on a computer today, like I have for years. Like I still hunt and peck. It's so
Really?
awful. Like, yes. What am I supposed to do? Go back and take keyboarding again?
I mean, that might help you.
Someone different who's not hooking up with a student. Yeah.
I don't know. I never learned. Like I don't know how everyone else learned. And yeah.
Well, thank you,
I
Kelly.
don't know. Maybe I should.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Have a
Melissa, good morning. You got a school scandal?
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily a school scandal, but a student of ours was kind of out there. We had a guy named Ryan, and he was a baseball player, really popular in school. And after school, obviously he didn't do good in baseball, so he was working at the car wash. He ended up killing his girlfriend, putting her under his mattress, sleeping on her for a couple of days. And then he drove to Mexico, and on the way there, he got pulled over because his taillight was out, and then they found him.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. That's
and I went to a high school dance with him, you guys.
Oh, no.
So my mom was like, oh, my God, dodge a bullet. Talk about it.
Wow.
It was so crazy.
That's so scary.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Melissa. Thank you.
Yeah. Buckle up, girls.
Crazy. Anyway, if you have any other ones, shoot us a call, 877-937-1047 or DM John J. Van Ness. It's John J. and Rich.
Don't drunk dial your ex. Drunk dial us. Call our John J. and Rich drunk dial line, 602-888-1933.
John J. and Rich, the Oscars were last night. Is there anything we need to cover from the Oscars, Kyle?
I think just kind of like the basics. So it was kind of wild because Wicked was nominated for 10, only won like 2 or 3 awards. Nora was actually the big winner at the Academy Awards ceremony last night. Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Original Screenplay, Best Editing, Best Director. They all went to Nora. Flo was named Best Animated Feature. Wicked was recognized for like Best Costumes and Best Production Design. Conan O'Brien was the host of the show, and I thought he did a really good job. He was very funny. The whole show, to me, like I watched literally from like start to end, and I am so tired of them. Like, it's like that show could be 20 minutes. Like, give us the best picture, give us the best supporting, give us the best actor, and then maybe just like list the rest of them.
It could be an Instagram Live.
I did notice that, I believe, and unless I missed it, but I think I was watching pretty intently during the in memoriam, they didn't honor Michelle Trachtenberg, and I'm like, you got Gene Hackman, who died like a day after her. You would think that they would honor her, so I thought that was a big miss. But Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, when they Ariana Grande opened up with Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and then
Gorgeous.
Cynthia Erivo came, and then they sang Defying Gravity together, and it was like literally the best moment of the whole show.
There's no fight we cannot win. Just you and I, defying gravity. With you and I, defying gravity.
Oh, they just sound so
Chills.
I like Cynthia Erivo's teeth. I was staring at them the whole time. I was
this
like,
duo.
I think
I
it's
love
that
them.
way.
Oh, why we stop
I
it?
love them. I love them together. They did a whole thing for The
Quincy
Spy 007, right? And they did this thing where they had 3 of the songs from the movies. They came and Lisa sang one, and Doja Cat sang Diamonds Are Forever.
That was insane.
Diamonds are forever. Hold one up and then caress it.
So Ray also saying it was like this whole tribute to the James Bond film franchise, which could be like changing because Amazon's got a hold of it now. Kieran Culkin, he won for Best Supporting Actor, and his speech was so funny because he was talking about how he had this whole deal with his wife when he won the Golden Globe that, like, she was like, yeah, if you win, I'll give you a 3rd kid. And apparently a deal was made about a 4th kid.
Swear to God this happened. It was just over a year ago. She said, I will give you 4 when you win an Oscar. I held my hand out. She shook it, and I have not brought it up once until just now. You remember that, honey? You do? I just have this to say to you, Jazz. Love of my life, ye of little faith. No pressure. I love you. I'm really sorry I did this again. And let's get cracking on those kids. What do you say?
Adrian Brody won the Best Actor award for The Brutalist last night, which I have not seen, but his speech was 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh, I was getting so mad at him.
Yeah.
There was actually a moment though, like when he was walking up, it was really funny. He had gum in his mouth and he had to like throw it to his wife. His wife, like, cut the gum. But his speech upset me.
I have his speech if you would like to play the whole thing.
No.
Parts.
Winning and I'm oddly just brilliant. And I'm wrapping up. Please, I'm wrapping up. I will wrap up. Please turn the music off.
Isn't that rude, though?
No, it was so rude because he said, I'm wrapping up. I've done this before. Turn the music off. And they turned the music off and he's like, I'll be brief. And then he went on for like 5 more minutes. I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm not going to watch the movie because of him now.
Yeah, so host Conan O'Brien did take a dig at Drake, though.
Well, we're halfway through the show, which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile.
Oh, my God.
Don't worry, I'm lawyered up. Anyway.
Everyone's faces were like, oh, okay, well, it's a good thing you are lawyered up because there probably will be a lawsuit filed over that.
I thought that was so random.
Those were like the wildest moments. The rest of it, I'm like, I love seeing the unsung heroes get their day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's fantastic. But also, it's like, it should be an option. You know what I mean? Like, televise it, but give us the good stuff first, and then give the option, because it's like you don't want to, like, these are the people that never get the spotlight, and that is really, really cool, and you don't want to take that away from them. But like, it was almost 4 hours long.
Do you know what they need to do? They need to come back to when we really cared about the movies that won. The best part was Wicked, which is a movie a lot of people saw and loved, and then you go into all these independent things that nobody's ever seen. If you kept it big time with the big shows, with the big performance, we'd be more interested.
It's kind of like with the Grammys when some random artist wins the...
It is, but the Grammys has been kicked and screamed into the now, where they've done a good job of making it current now. They need to do the same thing with the Oscars again.
Because when Wicked lost makeup, I was like, come on now. They literally made Cynthia Erivo. I mean,
who they lost to was pretty
crazy.
good.
I mean, because that was Demi Moore, right?
It was like the movie or whatever, but they like literally transformed like this body into this weird thing.
True. But I was like, they literally made her look like she was actually green. Like, it blew my mind.
They did a great job, but that was the only
green makeup.
Yes, John J.
Wow.
It looked like skin.
Give her an award.
It looked like skin.
No, it did. They did a really good job, and I actually watched like a whole thing on how long it took them to do that, and it was intricate. But I did think who they lost to in makeup.
Do you know there was a record last night? Diane Warren, she's done a bunch of songs. I guess she's been nominated 16 times for Academy Award, and she's lost 16 times.
Oh, that's impressive.
That's like the biggest like loser streak ever.
That's sad.
I know.
That is.
She's
really
like
sad.
almost there every
I know.
time.
Didn't do it again. So overall, I mean, the Oscars, too long, but then there were some tidbits in there but there was no Oscar slap this year. There was not. Like, for me, the most entertaining parts were watching the front row. It was like Timothée Chalamet and like Kylie Jenner, and the pictures of them, like, you know, like getting close together.
Like,
they were really adorable.
Kylie Jenner got her bag. I'm proud of her.
I know.
Lionel. Is it Lionel?
Lionel, yes.
Lionel, okay. Here they spell your name out, Lie and then Neil.
Yeah,
Lionel.
That works.
Like Lionel Richie.
So,
okay.
There you go. So listen to this. I got a Kyle sighting for you guys.
Okay.
Okay, so first let me preface, I'm one of those pretty awkward guys, you know. I'm an overthinker. I'm an Aquarius, so I overthink things all the time, right? And we all know Kyle is a very pretty girl, right? She's a very pretty woman. We all know that. It's not foreign. Everyone knows that. But
that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that all you're calling about? We agree with you. We can just move on to the next call. We'll be like, yeah, sure, totally. Yeah, okay.
That's it. But several years ago, I ran into Kyle at IKEA, and I just walk up to her, and I just go, "Can I take a picture with you?" And she looks over to me and is like, "You talking to me?" Okay. I take a picture with her. Great. Picture. I start walking away from her. Start looking at her, start shaking my head thinking, oh my God, she must think I'm the most weird person ever. Like, who is this person? Does he know who I am? Am I just... People ask for a picture all the time. What's going on here? I was so embarrassed, and I think about it all the time whenever you guys talk about sightings with people. You see famous people. Should I say hi to them? Like, why did I say hi to her? I should have just left her alone. I should have just went on my way. But
Lionel,
hey, look,
so
here's the picture.
you're wearing a love up shirt.
I was. What are the chances?
If you were wearing that shirt, I would know, obviously, you were listening to the show. And so it was probably very flattering.
Dude,
Thank
this
you.
was December
don't spend
22nd.
Any more time thinking about it.
December 22nd, 2015.
And he still thinks about it.
10 years ago.
I know.
10 years
You
ago.
don't need to be embarrassed or feel weird or anything. Like, you are good.
How do you look younger now than you looked in that picture 10 years ago, Kyle? What kind of vampire blood you got?
Jamie Comstock. Yeah, that's so sweet of you, Lionel. Don't, get that out of your head. You don't need to worry about that anymore.
I get
Check
it.
that off.
If I saw Kyle walking in IKEA, I'd want to take a picture
Finally.
of him too.
So funny.
Finally, the weight is off my shoulders.
Yes,
Good.
let it go.
Don't worry about it.
All right, Lionel. Thanks for calling in, brother. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
I was in a sheer dress the day that we met.
John, Jane, Rich, we need a contestant. We're going to play a game today. The prize is tickets to Rolling Loud. It's in Los Angeles, Rolling Loud?
Yeah, it's in LA, and it's like Sexy Red, YG, Playboy Cardi, ASAP Rocky, like some huge names, especially in the hip hop world.
That's very huge. It's
Yeah.
It's going to be really, really big. If you guys saw on Kyle's Instagram, it's funny because I kind of know the backstory, but I thought your son Easton looked so happy. with hearing these stories she tells about Easton freaking out over mascots, freaking out being mad at the game, and there's a video she posted of them in their photo shoot, and both her kids look so happy.
So every year we go and we do annual ducky picks. So, and it's like Addie looks forward to it because she is my animal lover. Like, there is no better day of spring than Ducky Picks Day. And Easton has slowly become braver and braver. Like, we've been doing this since I think he was like 9 months old, I think. And he's never really wanted to touch the ducks. But last year was the first year he let the ducks sit on his lap, right? And they've been trying the whole time to like motivate him to get him to the part where he can like put one of the little duckies on his head, right? So he was doing great. He was like kind of laughing. He's a little nervous. I don't know what he thinks the ducks are going to do to him, but they're like 4 days old. So they couldn't do much if they tried, right? So he got to the point where he had it on his lap. He had the duck on his lap, and then they went for it and put the duck on his head. He was sitting next to Addie, and the duck kind of like slipped down his forehead, and the photographer's husband, he's always like right on the side just in case the duck's and he catches the duck. Well, what we didn't realize until afterwards was that the duck on his way down pooped on Easton's shirt.
Oh, no.
And when Easton saw it, he broke out in
mortified.
tears.
After the photo shoot, though, because...
No, in the middle of the photo shoot.
Wow.
In the middle of the photo shoot. And he was like in tears. And I was like, Bubby's like, you're looking at this all wrong. This is a great sign. Like, you're going to have the luckiest year ever. It's supposed to be really good luck when a bird or a duck poops on you. He's like, no, it isn't. And like, they're like wiping it off, trying to get him to like sort of calm down. And like afterwards, I talked to him and I was like, hey, those are some big feelings we had, you know, when the duck slipped off your forehead and like pooped on you. He's like, yeah. I'm like, did it freak you out or did it scare you or what? He's, no, I was just sad. And I'm like, you're sad because why? Because I didn't want the poop on me.
Fair enough.
You know what's funny?
I would cry if a bird pooped on me, too.
The fact that you just said the conversation, like, those are some big feelings you had when the duck climbed on your head and pooped on you. Like, probably never thought you were ever going to say that to anybody.
No, I did not. No, I did not. And so normally the photo shoot is mostly just Addie and Easton and the ducks, and they do pictures of just Addie, pictures of just Easton, picture of them together, and then every once in a while they'll take Scott and I and we'll do like a little family pic. Well, they have these crates that the kids sit on, and they brought us in, and Scott sat on one, and as he was getting up, we hear this. And he broke it.
Oops.
He broke it. And I was like, we are a mess. So sorry. I don't know if we'll ever be invited back to Ducky Pictures, but I'm excited to see them because they always turn out so cute. And even despite the fact getting pooped on, he said, Easton was like, next year I feel like I'll do everything except I just don't want them on my head. I was like, okay.
Do you think you'll do them like as they get older? Like, could they have their own kids and they'll still be part of the Ducky pictures?
I hope so. I love traditions like that
would be really
just keep
cool.
going on. 'Cause
Yeah.
looking back, I was actually at Easton's one of his first baseball practice because he's doing baseball now. You guys, just stay tuned to see how that goes. I was like trying to explain what Ducky pics were, and I had like the cutest little picture when they were so little, and comparing how far they've come and how much they've grown from then until now. Like, I hope I can keep doing
Yeah,
it.
you should. And then when they're in high school, you're going to be able to look back at all those pictures, and then they'll be able to repose the exact same way that they did. So, like, when Addie's 17 and Easton's 14, you'll do the pictures from when they were 7
But
and 4.
you got to get grown-up ducks. But speaking of ducks, have you tried the duck eggs yet, Rich?
No, they expired. I never made them.
Oh, wasting food.
I know.
I wanted to hear about it.
I was really afraid. I know. I was afraid to try them.
I was waiting to hear how they tasted.
I just got a text from my friend Kevin Rowe. He's working out right now. I told you the Kevin Costner story. And, man, I maybe misunderstood something. But Kevin Rowe texted me, says, good job keeping me anonymous. I don't remember that part of the agreement when I said I was going to tell the story. Why would I keep it anonymous? His name's Kevin. The other guy's name's Kevin. Kevin Rowe, Kevin Costner. That's funny. Like,
Yeah.
and then
Kevin,
plus,
Kevin.
I have a picture. Why would I not post a picture of him unless I'm supposed to put a smiley face over? I'm going to put a smiley face over Kevin Rowe's face when I post it.
Okay.
So you'll see Kevin Costner, and you'll see a guy standing there with Kevin Costner, but a smiley face over his
Yeah,
head.
it'll be like all the celebrities that don't want people to see their kids yet.
Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to post that. So you're still anonymous, Kevin. Okay. Erica, good morning.
Hi.
Hi, you are playing for Rolling Loud tickets.
Okay, hi.
Hi, Nick is the host. Nick, what game are we playing?
You guys were playing a game today called Noise Machine, and here's the point. If you can name the noise, you get a point. It's pretty easy, right?
Yes.
I like to theme my games. We're in Oscar season, or just finished it up, whatever you want to call it. These are movies that have won an Oscar. Now, I need to be specific. They didn't necessarily win Best Picture.
Okay.
So it could have been for cinematography,
makeup,
screenplay.
sound mixing. You just have to guess what the movie is.
I hope they're movies we've heard
I
of.
know.
Not like last
That's
night's
why
Oscars.
I didn't go with the Best Picture
Maybe
nominees.
it'd be better if we do the MTV VMAs or movie awards. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to start things off with John Jay.
Oh, I know. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. Oh, that's the Hollywood one with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
La La Land.
La La Land is correct.
Work it out.
Dun, dun. That was a good song. There's a lot of good songs on these musicals.
I just recently, when I say recently revisited that movie, I mean this morning when I was pulling clips. I was like, oh my God, this is so great. Okay, so 1 point for John Jay. Rich.
We don't have genitals.
That's okay. Yeah, whatever. It's cool. Yeah.
I have all the genitals.
Oh, that's Ryan Gosling. That's Barbie.
Barbie is correct. Yeah, 2 for 2 today, guys. Way to go. Of course, nominated for Oscar last year and won for Best Song. Okay. Payton.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say Wall-E for animated picture.
Okay. All right. That's a good guess. Anybody else?
John Jay.
John Jay?
Jurassic Park.
Okay, Jurassic Park also a good guess. We were looking for, of course, Transformers.
Yeah.
It did sound transforming.
Yeah. It's sound mixing. That was the,
okay.
The win there. So,
Those are good movies.
nice try, Peyton. We'll move on to Kyle.
I'm only asking you to look at this, Doctor. Either you will or you won't.
Jack Crawford must be very busy indeed if he is recruiting help from the student body.
Oh, that's Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah,
In, oh my gosh, it's the Hannibal Lecter.
Right.
But that's not the name of the movie.
No.
He's a cannibal.
Yeah.
And his name, and it's, it's the movie.
Yes. Right sound effect.
You're getting it. Oh, yeah. It's a good point.
Oh, what is the movie? Hannibal Lecter.
Kyle, be quiet.
Peyton.
Peyton's going to steal it.
I want to give it to you, though. I'll give you the point.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, just steal it.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
Silence of the Lambs is
You
correct.
made the lamb noise.
You did.
So good job, Kyle. 1 point there.
Give it to Peyton. That's okay.
All right. Erica, you understand how this game works?
Yeah.
Okay, good luck.
I don't want to kill you.
What would I do without you?
I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. I don't know.
Best
Payton.
supporting actor. Go ahead, Peyton.
That's Heath Ledger, the Joker.
Yeah.
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight is correct. Good job, Peyton.
Yay.
Are you going to forfeit that point as well?
No, yeah, I'm going to forfeit it. I don't want any points in any of your
Okay,
games.
0 points for Peyton.
You're doing a great job then.
Round 2, Rich on the board. Actually, everybody on the board but Peyton, who has answered 2 questions correct, but that's fine. Round 2 goes to John Jay.
I bet if I think about it real hard, I could remember my first pair of shoes.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is correct. Way to go. Hey, Mama says that Bob Magic shoes. Mama says that take me anywhere.
This is good.
Okay, so good job, John Jay. Rich?
I think he used this clue on me last week. Lord of the Rings.
Didn't even move it from my move it from my games page. Lord of the Rings is correct.
Nice.
We'll move on. John Jay, Rich, both points this round. Peyton.
Man, I think that is the movie Chicken Little and that one for animated feature. The sky is falling.
Chicken Little.
The sky is falling.
No?
No?
I really thought that was going to make John Jay's face light up, but he wasn't super interested in the clip, I guess. We are looking for, of course, everybody in the room. 1, 2, 3.
Chicken Little.
Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade.
Oh, that's when he's running through the thing.
Yeah, it's scaring all the seagulls into the
I didn't see that movie.
That one. I thought you. So last year, that's when he's got the umbrella. He's going.
Yep,
Oh man, I would have never got that one. I was with you on Chicken Little.
Yeah, didn't it sound like that?
I can't tell you how many times I watched Chicken Little when my kids were little. You haven't seen that with your kids, have you, Cal?
It's been on, but they won't watch
Oh,
it.
my kids love that one.
It's
and
so
Wally.
good.
Okay. And Wally came up earlier as well, so nice try, Peyton. Kyle.
That's the Muppet Show!
Is that the Muppets movie?
The Muppets! Good job! Best song. Everybody's having such a good time today, I can tell.
I'm enjoying it.
What a fabulous Monday, guys. All right, Erica, if you want to go to Rolling Loud, you better get this right.
Okay.
The world's greatest superhero now, the world's greatest toy! Locking Wrist Communicator!
Jesus Christ. Someone help me, please. I don't know.
It is
I
not
can
the
help
Passion
you.
of the Christ. Peyton?
That's Toy Story.
Toy Story's correct!
And I want to give away my point again.
Woohoo!
What a sacrifice.
Erica, are you familiar with Rolling Loud?
I'm not, but I listen to you guys all the time, and I call in, and I'm like, gee, I hope like one day I answer. And then the one day I wasn't going to call in, I was like, you know what? It's my daughter's birthday. I'm feeling really lucky. And I called in, and then I got through.
Well, you won tickets to Rolling Loud.
Yeah, that's big time. That's the right reaction, Eric.
Hold on the line. Take your daughter. You'll have a blast. Hold on. How old's your daughter?
She's turning 7 today.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'll be a fun trip. You got to explain a lot.
Happy birthday.
It's maybe a different
Okay, hold
celebration.
on. By the way, I have an Oscar fun fact that I thought was really interesting. Samuel Jackson has acted in well over 100 movies, and he's only been nominated once for Best Supporting Actor.
Did he win the one time?
He didn't win.
What movie was it for?
Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
But he did receive an honorary Academy Award in 2021.
Not the same.
I know,
I
it's
would
not
be
the
like honorary, dude. Come on.
Right.
Like
Right.
that's like a jab.
Still got the Oscar on your
Especially
mantle.
since he's already making, like, he's still good to make another 10, 100 movies. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, give him a chance.
He's in his prime still.
Yeah. Kyle, let's cover 3 things you need to know.
I'll tell you what you can get for free tomorrow. Next with John J. Rich.
Coffee in hand, earbuds on John Jay and Rich.
You're up.
Kyle, what do you got for 3 things we need to know?
So tomorrow is not only Rich and Stacy's wedding anniversary, but it's National Pancake Day. And to celebrate, IHOP is giving away its signature pancakes for free. All you have to do is swing by an IHOP between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. and get a free short stack of original buttermilk pancakes.
Well, I know what we're doing for our anniversary day.
I was going to say.
Not Italian. We're going to get pancakes.
You schedule your wedding on a special day just so you could always get pancakes together. They did a study and they actually found, this was kind of surprising to me, that men become strongly infatuated with their partners a month earlier in a relationship than women do and are likely to make the first move to say, I love you. They also fall in love on average more often than women. You would think maybe that would be the opposite, but they found women are more committed and have more intense romantic feelings once those feelings have been cemented. It just happens to dudes quicker. In the study. They also did a study and found something that I feel like is the obvious. Like, I'm surprised they spent money on this study, but they found when like young adults and people in general fail to control their TikTok use, especially when it gets in the way of like responsibilities, they're significantly more likely to postpone going to bed and end up losing sleep. I'm like, duh. You just get like a wormhole, right? And all of a sudden it's like 10 o'clock and you're like, all right, I got to go to bed. But they literally paid for a study on that. And so the scientific findings do not lie. Excessive TikTok use makes you lose sleep. Just so we all know. And that's 3 things you need to know.
It's almost like excessive use of your phone in any way.
Right.
Right? All right. What's the deal, your husband's idea?
Okay. So he comes to me. He just spent like a week in Nashville at this conference. He does a lot of like voiceover work for country radio. And so it's like a huge deal. And while he's there, he met a lot of different people in all different fields that have to do with country music. And he came back with this idea and he's like, you know what? I think we should start a podcast together. I was like, you and me? What? Like, what are we going to talk about? Like, who's going to pick up the kids from soccer? Like, I was just laughing. He's like, no, I think that could be really interesting. And so now we've started to like do this bit where we'll start a conversation and then we'll just say, save it for the podcast. That's never going to happen. And so I'm like, I was very, because this kind of comes out of left field for him because he already has like 18 jobs. So like for him to want to start another thing to me is like ludicrous. Mm-hmm. Like you don't have time for anything, let
It'd be
alone
good, though. I'd
starting
listen
a
to
new
it.
thing.
That'd be cool to hear you guys chat. No, you guys are funny to hear talk. You're funny.
I was like, we talk about like boring things, right? Like, what do you want me to get from the grocery store this week? This is the extent of like the conversations we have. And so I kind of poo-pooed it and then I felt bad afterwards because like I thought, well, maybe if we did, because actually it's funny, Grant just walked in here. I thought about Grant and Caitlin, like they have a podcast and he has said before about how it helps their relationship, really.
It has. Doing a podcast with my wife before she was my wife and now after she's my wife, it has strengthened our relationship and how we communicate, but we also let it fly on the podcast. There have been podcasts where we just fight for 45 minutes and then we're like, we're not releasing this. And then we just decide later on, yeah, let's put it out.
But once you're done taping the podcast, are you guys still fighting? Or do you guys go, okay, that was the show. Let's reset.
No, I mean, it continues on for days and weeks and weeks.
You know, Blake had pitched that to me. In fact, I bought all the equipment for it months ago, and it's still sitting in the living room because she was like, people had asked about, doing it, talk about relationship, the highs and lows, whatever. And to do something like that, you got to be as honest as possible.
You got to be open.
And I'm like, and then it's like, I wish someone could call and give us the rules first that you should implement. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know how they say, you don't want to go into business with family. You don't want to somebody experienced that before and gave you the rules.
Right. Like, what are the boundaries?
Like, okay, so if you're going to do a podcast with your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, what are the rules so that if you get into a fight, you got to be able to, once you hit stop, you got to be able to go, okay, that was there. That's over.
Oh, no.
So that you don't continue to fight while you're in the kitchen.
I'm glad you're talking about having an expert, to discuss this with you. I am that consultant for you, I think. But no, dude, when the joy, I think hearing someone else get into like a petty fight is very satisfying. But yeah, I think you just need to, you need to let it go, but that's impossible. Like, you remember.
So you stop recording, and then you're in
hit-
the kitchen or you're in bed and you're brushing your teeth, and she's like, I can't believe you said that.
We hit stop, and it's the funniest thing because I know it's a good bad podcast in the sense that Kate takes off her headphones and just throws them on the counter and just sits there and just looks at me and gets her phone out, and I'm like, oh, it was a bad one this week, guys. But no, I think that's what makes it good is when you don't separate.
No, I think you got to have rules.
No rules.
You got to have rules. There got to be a safe word.
Pineapple. Don't give us too much.
Yeah, actually, we did a episode of Terrible Person this week where it was all low energy, and like neither one of us wanted to record, and for the first 25 minutes, we just kept saying, we're going to find it. We're going to find it. And then at 30 minutes into the podcast, right before we switched over, we landed it, and I was like, "Oh, we're cooking with gas now." It's just about persistence.
You and your husband can call it, we're cooking with gas.
Okay. I mean, that's actually a good name for a podcast.
The intro to your podcast would be so kicking ass.
It's just a 45-minute intro.
That's the whole show, every show.
Pick up the kids. I will. That's the end of our podcast.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have supervision, enhanced hearing, extraordinary reflexes, to be, dare we say, superhuman? Well, Roku's new Pro Series TV can't do any of that for you. But with a 4K screen, side-firing speakers, and a blazing fast refresh rate, it'll sure feel like it. Elevate your entertainment using all your favorite apps like iHeart and play all your music, radio, and podcasts with the new Roku Pro Series. Your senses aren't better. Your TV is.
We've all done it. You see a headline but don't have time to read the whole story, or there's so much news you're not sure what is worth your time. I'm Colby Ekowitz, co-host of Post Reports, the weekday afternoon podcast from The Washington Post. Post Reports brings you what's relevant and revealing. Breaking stories, politics, wellness, culture. Each episode goes beyond a headline for the context you need. Find Post Reports now, wherever you're listening.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include a lot more people than ourselves. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, we help plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because even though our business is helping guide your finances, our ambition is to make it mean so much more. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have supervision, enhanced hearing, extraordinary reflexes, to be, dare we say, superhuman? Well, Roku's new Pro Series TV can't do any of that for you. But with a 4K screen, side-firing speakers, and a blazing fast refresh rate, it'll sure feel like it. Elevate your entertainment using all your favorite apps like iHeart and play all your music, radio, and podcasts with the new Roku Pro Series. Your senses aren't better. Your TV is.